I think that TikTok is priming a lot of people to develop, worsen, or deepen their shopping problems. TikTok Shop launched in the United States last year, joining 7 other countries in this emerging program. So far, well, beyond the US, the UK, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam all have it, and TikTok says it's coming soon to other countries, including Canada. But they've been saying this for like 5 or 6 months now, so I don't really know exactly what soon means, but it's supposed to be on the horizon. While TikTok Shop is exciting for TikTok itself, and I would argue for emerging and existing brands, it's not quite as exciting for consumers. At least that's my opinion. TikTok is just the latest app that has turned into a de facto shopping mall, ultimately putting profits over people. This change is heralded as great for consumers and, making the shopping experience easier than ever. But this is not a good thing. TikTok Shop is going to have very little benefit outside of TikTok and companies. I am going to first talk about the TikTok Shop program, talking just a little bit about what it is, but I'm going to spend the majority of this video really discussing TikTok Shop and its relationship to our buying habits. So what is TikTok Shop? According to the brand, it enables merchants and creators to showcase and sell products for the TikTok community to discover and purchase directly through a complete in-app experience. There are 4 components to TikTok Shop. The first is live shopping, which is exactly what it sounds like. The second are shoppable videos, and these are videos that have links attached to them, or like you can shop directly from the video and check out in app. Number 3 is to shop directly from a brand or a creator via a product tab in their profile. And then there's a shopping tab, which is basically like an online store with like personalized recommendations to you. With all of these features, you'll be able to shop without ever leaving the app. And there's no more clicking through links to get to somebody's Instagram or to get to some kind of brand website. You can do it all in TikTok. You can save credit card information, and it's all just making the shopping experience as easy as they can make it. This all gets murkier when you add in the role of creators, because TikTok Shop allows creators to earn affiliate commissions from products that they sell through the app. Affiliate programs already exist on socials, and it's not new, and what TikTok is proposing isn't anything new either. We've seen affiliate links on YouTube videos for about a decade at this point, and we still see them on Instagram, and Amazon is one of the biggest giants out there. People can push affiliate links through Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube content already. Specifically for TikTok, affiliate links already exist on TikTok. Like you can put your Amazon affiliate link and create Amazon videos with affiliate links on TikTok. That's already possible. TikTok, though, is just adding another layer to all of this. What makes the TikTok Shop affiliate situation a little bit different is that TikTok is incentivizing people or incentivizing creators to establish or use their affiliate program to sell more to their viewers. And TikTok Shop also makes the shopping experience way easier, which we're going to talk about later, that it also creates a larger likelihood for consumers to use and buy through TikTok Shop. Again, to be clear, this is not anything new across social media channels, but this is adding an additional layer of incentive for creators to basically treat their subscribers or their viewers as cash cows to create content to sell them things. Now, beyond the affiliate program, the biggest issue for TikTok Shop or with TikTok Shop is for the consumer. TikTok can portray this as a win-win as much as they'd like, but that doesn't actually make it true. Yes, TikTok Shop can help create brand awareness for smaller brands. This is true. There are so many brands that have blown up because of TikTok, brands that have had very little social media following or are new or emerging brands they get exposure with TikTok. You can't really refute that. Let me be very honest. We do not need people shopping more. Globally, we are consuming faster than we have ever before. It took 6 years for the world to consume 75% of the total consumption of the last 100 years. So to say this another way, in 6 years, we've consumed the equivalent of the past 75 years. This level of consumption, this increasing level of consumption, is not a result, or exclusively a result, I should say, of an increasing global population. Also, this consumption is not spread equally among the world. US is, I think it's the largest, according to like a 2021 stat, like they consume the most per capita. As it is, the average American is spending beyond their means. The average American credit card holder holds about $7,000 worth of credit card debt. The average person is already shopping beyond their means. And TikTok is just another way for companies and corporations to treat consumers like an endless or bottomless pit of money. Enticing people to buy more things is not a good thing. Making it easier to buy things is also not a good thing in this circumstance. We simply do not need more opportunities for people to purchase thoughtlessly or impulsively. I want to now talk about a study, and I'm going to relate it to what we're talking about now. According to Niranen et al., smartphones contribute significantly to the prevalence of impulse shopping by impeding self-regulation or exacerbating self-regulatory issues. Smartphones enhance addictive or impulsive behavior because they readily supply addictive stimuli. It's essentially a steady dose of dopamine. So here's what they say in their own words. Problems in regulating smartphone use adds to this equation because of external avoidance and algorithms that are provided via smartphones. Young people who lack self-regulation, in addition, have problems in handling the external stimuli provided by the device, and algorithms may have serious problems in controlling their internet use and online behavior. It is not the device itself that is the problem, but the problems in both self-regulation and the general challenges of internet use are multiplied with the constant flow of information and distractions in our pockets. Depletion of resources for self-control increases the likelihood of poor consumer decisions and leads to the adoption of heuristics and intuitive rather than rational decision strategies. For most individuals, retaining financial self-control requires willpower. For this reason, the most resources for self-control are depleted, the more likely it is that financial control slips. What does this mean? Let's talk about it. TikTok is digital stimuli, and it already is distracting because the algorithm is also popular. Previous to the last handful of years, TikTok has mostly been a video viewing app, and there is dopamine embedded within that in the digital stimuli. You add shopping to this mix, you are creating a dopamine powerhouse. And it makes dopamine even more powerful. We're going to come back to the discussion of habits and like self-depleting resources, and this when you deplete the resources, you fall more into habits. We're gonna pinpoint this exact thing right now. So to do that, according to psychologist Wendy Wood, she's a prolific writer of habits. She says habits reflect a sort of behavioral shortcut to get rewards. Cues in the performance context trigger the response most likely to be rewarded. That is the one that was rewarded in the past. Habits are a bit like a memory. And once they form, context cues will activate this like memory circuit. A reward is needed to establish a habit, reward being the dopamine hit in most cases, but it is not needed to maintain a habit. Your brain makes the connection with the cue and the routine. This becomes like that memory. And this is when your autopilot switches on. Your brain doesn't need to think about the choices anymore. Like the cue initiates the autopilot. And that's what I mean by like a memory. So you have your context cue, it switches on and gives you that automatic response. When X happens, you do Y action. And your brain doesn't have to think about what to do, and therefore streamlining occurs. And habits are created by your brain to save us what is in essence a cognitive load. And we're not going to get into that right now, but it's to streamline our daily lives and to make going about the world easier. Once a habit is streamlined, that is when it becomes a habit, and that's also when it becomes invisible to us. Automaticity often equates to invisibility. Why? Because when something is automatic, you're not actually thinking in your mind of what to do. You're not thinking about the actions that you're taking. When it comes to habits, the more friction you put into a habit, or an action, I should say, the more difficult it is to do. Let me give you an example. You want to buy something online. Well, that's TikTok Shop or Amazon. You save your password, you save your credit card information, you save your shipping information. There's virtually no work for you to do to check out. Compare that with somebody who doesn't have their credit card nearby, who doesn't have their password saved, who doesn't have their address saved, who doesn't have their credit card information saved. They have to walk across the room, go get their credit card, come back, input all of that information, and then check out. Or they have to find their password to get on the app in the first place to even have that experience. You add more friction, more steps for you to take in order to complete the action. When you make something as easy to do as possible, like you remove all of the friction, you're creating an atmosphere that is perfect for automaticity to take over. TikTok is removing as much friction as they can within the app to give you an experience that is as frictionless as possible. Therefore, they're priming you to create a habit, to create automaticity in how you shop on TikTok. Now, can TikTok force you to create a habit? No, but they're creating an environment as ideal as possible for impulse shopping and impulsive behavior to take place. I had to change the lighting a little bit. Hopefully we're still looking good. And I've been out of my coffee, like my favorite coffee, for several days now. Brewed my first cup. We just got it in the mail this afternoon. I'm just like, this afternoon is good. Okay, now back to what we were saying. One thing that also helps with automaticity is speed. The faster that you can make a process, the easier it is for somebody to go through the motions and have a habit develop. Like, the faster that you can make something happen, that means that there is less opportunity for you to think about something. Adding friction in, one of the things that does is that it takes longer for an action to take place. Therefore, there is more time for you to think about what you're doing. TikTok Shop is making the shopping process faster, therefore removing more friction. So one of the things that happens with folks who have established habits is that they process information differently. They process information in ways that reduces the likelihood that they will consider acting otherwise. This is the entire problem with habits, or with bad habits, I should say, is that automaticity prevents you from thinking otherwise. Like, you're caught up in repeating the action, and so you don't think about it. That, to reiterate what I was saying earlier, one of the entire reason why habits exist in the first place is to reduce our cognitive load, which means to think about what we're doing less. So it takes up less mental space and less mental energy and work. Automaticity prevents us from thinking about what we're doing. That's also that's how you know a habit is ingrained. And so when we go back to that study that we were talking about earlier, the depletion of resources for self-control increases the likelihood of poor consumer decisions and leads to adoption of heuristics, intuitive rather than rational decision strategies. What they are saying is that you will not think about options. You will not think about alternatives. You will not think, you will not get into a critical lens if you are in a stage of automaticity. If you're in a place of automaticity, aka you have habits. TikTok Shop is ultimately making the shopping process as frictionless as possible, as fast as possible, and therefore as easy as possible. Meaning that I think a lot of people who are already addicted to TikTok, who are already experiencing problems with self-regulation when it comes to TikTok and their smartphones, I think there's going to be an added level of, I think that TikTok is priming a lot of people to develop, worsen, or deepen their shopping problems. They've created a platform and they've created something that's going to make, or that is making, impulse shopping as easy as it's ever been. And once we develop these habits, we are often not aware of them. And then we kind of get into this lens of now we have to break habits. Let's not develop them in the first place. Like, let's not even go there if we can. And the main solution, to be honest, for changing habits, like changing shopping habits, is going to be creating buffers to hinder automaticity. Chalmay et al., hope I said that right. I don't know if it's Chalmay. They did a scoping review of literature on self-control, and they found that you can use self-control training to shift behavior. And one of the ways to do this is with progressive delays. So progressively delaying the action that you want over a larger increment over time. So you would wait, let's say, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. So you expose people to longer and longer delays. Part of why the delay control tactic works is that you can turn waiting into a habit. And you can reinforce this with habit development techniques, which includes dopamine hits and rewards. Delaying the time between the desire and the purchase, creating that buffer, helps to prevent impulse buying and impulse shopping. And it prevents it from sticking or developing altogether. TikTok Shop encourages the absolute opposite, which is why we're talking about it in the first place. Now, one thing that I feel like I always get pushback on, or when people, do whataboutisms, they say, what about small businesses? What about those? And yes, an argument can be made that TikTok can help small businesses. However, I am of the opinion that it's delusional to think that TikTok Shop was developed with the small business in mind. It most certainly was not. It's true that small businesses can get more exposure, that they can get more followers, that they can make more sales. Like, they can definitely benefit from every stage of the marketing funnel. TikTok was not designed for small businesses. When you look at algorithms over every literal social media platform, they are designed to help large creators and large businesses do business. This is a situation where I firmly believe that large businesses are the ones who are going to thrive and who are going to see more benefits, and who are going to really reap, and large creators too. These are people who are going to reap the benefits of these kinds of programs. This is very much a story, in my opinion, of helping the rich get richer. Look, I would love to have a situation where small businesses thrive, or if this was some kind of way for TikTok to create a program specifically designed for small businesses, I would have a somewhat different tune. This is not a small business program or a program to help small creators thrive. Neither of these were the intentions. And to be even more frank, it doesn't matter what you buy. Whether you bought $100 from Amazon or $100 from Shauna's Soap Company, if you could not afford that thing, you don't need to buy it. Like, it doesn't matter if your $7,000 of credit card debt is from IKEA or Etsy or like a farmer's market. It doesn't matter if you're in debt. You still bought $7,000 worth of stuff that you could not afford and should not have bought. I want small businesses to thrive, but not at the expense of someone else and not at the expense of somebody going into debt. TikTok Shop or TikTok is a top business, like globally. They are a top company. They are worth billions of dollars. They care about their bottom line. TikTok Shop is just the latest development in helping them gain more money. All right, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed my take on TikTok Shop. I would really like to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and hanging out, and hope to see you again around here soon. Bye.